The Book of Thallib, Zlago, and Lythikal. In the cold and distant land of Tilkop, there once was a young Tilkop. The end of winter was approaching, but this didn't dissuade the blonde, green-eyed, green-skinned teenager from one last ride down his favorite slope. Down the Fractish mountain he skied, dodging evergreens, while a peculiar and faithful friend soared above him. This is the story of Thallib and his pet owl, Coop. That day, he'd gone up and down the Ripid Mountain so many times he'd lost count. At last, alas, the sun fell behind the imposing range, and shadows engulfed the whole of Tilkop land. Thallib masterfully glided downhill to his parents' small elevated wooden cabin in the lonely woods. Thus, he left his skis up against the outside wall, Ku landed on his left shoulder, and Thallib walked inside his house. "Boy, how many times do I have to tell you? No fowls inside," said a man with a bottle. "Oh, let him be, dear. Welcome home, sweetie. How was your day?" "Fine," answered Thallib indifferently with a shrug. "Will you join us for dinner?" she inquired. "I don't know." "It's always monosyllabic answers with him," complained the drunken father. "Either he's busy snowing or hiding in his bedroom. Boy, don't you have any friends? Don't you want a girlfriend? What do you do when winter's over, huh?" "I don't know. Well, you'd better figure it out," shouted the dad. Thallib walked to his room with Coop. He turned a candle on and sat at his desk. By the candlelight, he studied the book, while holding seeds in his hand for his pet. Thallib was a private fellow, whose secret dream was to master the book and preach it to his kin. He'd read it front to back at least thrice, but each time he did, he learned something new or noticed details he had missed in the past. Some could say he was hooked, others worried he was obsessed. After much careful consideration, Thallib gained the courage to express his true longing to his little family. After a sleepless night of reading and overthinking, he stepped out of his room with Coop. Both his parents were sitting in the living room. "Morning, Thal. You sleep well?" asked the mom. "You and that stinking animal of yours," said the dad. "I bet angels are mind-controlling it as we speak." Thallib cleared his voice and said, "Mom, Dad, after giving it much thought, I—" "Speak plainly!" "I'm thinking of leaving." "Good! Wait, what?" said the dad as he spit his drink out. "Yes, I know you don't believe in the book, but I'd like to go to Elsith land. I've reflected a lot. I could make some friends there and study with them." "That's the worst thing I've heard all month. After all we've given you, we spoiled you senseless and you abandon us." "Thal, I think that's a great idea," said his mom. "Great! Woman! Only Wilsons can be pastors. They just want our money. Look how they brainwashed my mother. Rest in peace." "Oh, come on, dear, please. He's our only son and you treat him like this?" The mom started tearing up. "Maybe he's yours. Mine? I'm not so sure." After a wheeze, the mom stormed out of the front door sobbing hysterically. Look what you've done," he told his son before he went out to follow her. "Oh, Goo, I can't take this anymore. My dad's too cruel." Right then and there, Thallib decided he had had enough. He put his coat on, filled a bag with the book, a keyboard, socks, clothes, food, arrows, and a bow. His parents were nowhere to be seen, so he put his skis on and quickly rode all the way down to the bottom of the thinning snow, while Ku followed him in the air. And so our young Tilkop friend skied freely away from his house. As always, Ku faithfully followed him in the air. The morning was cold and the sun was low, but spring was undoubtedly around the corner. Though a subtle hint of guilt was indeed present, Thallib didn't feel enough regret to turn back. Thus, he traveled towards the sun, knowing he would reach the Tilkop shore eventually. Despite the many living trees around him, the land seemed desolate and lifeless. After hours of steady skiing, he took a break to eat, pray, and read the book. Not long after, there he was, back on his two slim wooden planks. And how could we forget his lifelong companion, who had provided relief against his frequent feelings of solitude? The boy and the bird rushed rightward at a steady pace all day. Once the shadows of nightfall hit the country and its forests, Thallib removed his skis once more. Yet in his determination, the loss of heat and visibility did not halt his emigration. If anything, his chronic insomnia gave him more reason to continue moving. Thus he walked and walked and walked. The glowing lesser light in the firmament above gave him a hand navigating, as well as Ku. With his keen nocturnal eyes, young Thallib trudged in the dark night among the obscure evergreens, wandering aimlessly. Without his skis on his feet, he had slowed down significantly, yet his march in the snow remained constant. Every tree he could barely see looked exactly like all the previous ones he had seen. Without despairing too much, he uttered his first words after hours of silence. "Oh, cool, I'm totally lost," sighed Thallib. As Thallib walked through the dense dark forest, with only the pale white moon to aid his eyesight, he spotted an orange light reflecting off leaves in the distance. He approached the seeming warmth with caution, crouching and tiptoeing. From behind the bush, he observed something quite unusual, a massive statue of an owl. It was almost as tall as the trees behind it, and, for eyes, it had 2 fiery cavities, elemented by a furnace of some sort. From its base, a 2-dimensional pyramid-shaped staircase converged. A man wearing a long black robe and a mask stood on the top step, holding a chalice, while a group of men stood in a circle on the ground below, all dressed in black. It appeared to be a ceremony. Thallib was disturbed, but lingered in curiosity. He could hear them whispering, in the eeriest way imaginable, in unison. They started uttering this. Shh, 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 shh. What the hell is going on here? Asked Thallib from behind the bush. This is freaky, Ku. I'm getting deja vu. His owl couldn't help but stare at the giant owl ahead. Suddenly, right after Thallib's comments, Ku flew away towards the gathering. "Ku, no! Come back!" whispered Thallib. "Silence!" shouted the cult leader. "Shh!" went all the cult members. Thallib got startled, but it was just a false alarm. However, the black-robed people soon spotted Ku flying above them and got excited at the sight. "This is a sign from the holy moon!" exclaimed the elevated figure in black. "She sent us a messenger to bless our undertaking. Half we drink, half we sacrifice to the sacred flame of the holy owl's bosom, for ourselves and for the moonlight, which we have been incarnated to preserve and to spread. Consume the blood, give the blood. It is charged by the luminiferous power of Our Lady above, around whom we and this earth orbit," declared the leader. A unanimous shh followed. Thallib looked at the scene with gaping eyes, praying his pet would come back. Ku stood right on top of the owl, where moonlight and firelight met. The men in black passed cups around and spit half of the red liquid into the central opening of the statue's massive furnace. The metallic smell, mixed with strange forest odors and incense, were too much to bear for Thallib's sensitive nostrils. He turned his head to vomit, and right then and there, he saw 2 men in black with white makeup sneaking up on him. Jump-scared, his reflexes kicked in just in time to escape their claws, and his adrenaline propelled his speedy escape. "Intruder!" screeched the men. Ku reached his owner as the company chased him, along with a terrifying sequence of shushing. Shh here and shh there. It was constant, never tiring. Thallib feared greatly for his dear life. Thus he ran and ran and ran. On loop, the shhs got louder and closer one moment, then quieter and further the next. Finally, after a long run in the shadowy snow, dawn's twilight allowed Thallib to see just barely enough to put his skis on and lose the creepy pursuers once and for all. "Don't ever do that again, Ku," said Thallib with a shaky voice. After skiing intensely, like only he knew how to, Thallib fell on his knees and vomited. Having escaped the cult's clutches, he exited the forest and ended up in the outskirts of an old tiny Tolkop town. It was a cold and sunny morning. He walked on a stone road, trying to figure out where he was. No signs were visible to make it clear. Thallib really didn't want to have to ask a stranger, but thankfully he mustered the courage to do so. Excuse me, sir." "Leave me alone, kid," he said as he kept walking. "Ma'am?" he tried again. "Sorry, I'm busy," said a woman in a rush. Then an old man leaning up on a wall by 2 friends at a bar table shouted, "Boy, you seem like you've seen a ghost." "Chloe, look at those kids' eye bags," He's got a spooky owl with him. Thallib looked down pathetically. Oh, kid, we're just toying with you a little, that's all. Come over here. We don't bite, do we, boys? Only the wife, sarcastically said the second with glasses. Thallib approached them. You look lost, son. You're safe here. We're in the city of Tiltal. Here, eat, said the first man as he handed him some food. Where are you from? Asked the third. I'm from the Lonely Woods. Up in Thallib? Asked the third. How'd you end up here? Asked the first. I left home to go to Wilseth. Don't tell me you went through that forest back there, did you? Asked the first. Yeah, I did. What? Gasped the third. Oof. Oh boy, I've heard stories, commented the first with crossed arms. Haven't we all? Commented the second. You know, that owl of yours, us three, we're not too superstitious, but, see, your animal's become a symbol of misfortune around these parts. And that's why folks seem scared of you, said the third. What? Why? Let's just say there's been a correlation between owls and disappearances in the woods of Grimfclaw, said the first. More like abductions, added the third. Point is, you should never wander out there alone, especially at night. Legend has it that whichever house an owl lands on, someone from there is kidnapped, concluded the first. Will you two stop frightening the poor boy? Complained the second. He was already frightened. There's some strange stuff going on in there, exclaimed the third. I'm telling you, it's not just snow and greenery. It's darker than we can imagine. More powerful than anything in Verithia. Scoffed the second. I heard they worship owls, said the third. Who's they? Asked the second. Them, said the first. Them who? He asked again. Them, repeated the third. Boy, pray tell us. Did you happen to see anything out there last night? Asked the first. Thallib looked at him with distressed eyes and sealed lips. Please, son, beseeched the third. It'd mean a great deal to us. Telcoms are either too scared or blind to say or do anything. Thallib started nodding. I saw them. Black-robed figures. Moon-colored faces. An owl statue. Blood, smoke, dung. He gagged. Go on, said the first. What else? Said the second. Keep going, said the third. They kept shushing, he whispered. That's them, all right, said the first. Bloody hell. I knew it, said the third. Oh, come on, complained the second. Can't you see he's just pulling your old legs, you fools? Young man, is it true you're messing with us? Asked the first. Sir, I wish I was. They almost had me. I barely made it out. Had I not, I'm guessing my blow would have been on the menu next time. Oh my goodness gracious, said the third. Wow, is there any way we can help you, lad? Asked the first. I need a way to traverse the salty waters. Do you know anyone who could help me? The men turned their heads and looked at the second. Oh, brothers, come on. You can't be flippin' serious right now. I only bought the thing last month. My dear son, you found favor this day, commented the first. Our friends just purchased themselves an incredible new vessel. Incredibly expensive, added the third. You know, we're retired and bored old men. And we were planning on going for a trip together anyway. Ain't that right, friends? Asked the first, looking at the second. That's right, said the third. Fine. He can come. But it's a one-way ticket only. Does that work for you? Sorry, what's your name? Asked the first. Yes, I'm Thallib, son of Thiller. This is Coot. He pointed his right thumb at his owl on his left shoulder. Pleasure, nice to meet you. I'm Thrilk, said the first as he shook his hands. Dolb, said the second statically. And I'm Clovey, said the third with a wave. The group started walking towards the river. Thallib noticed windows adjacent to the sidewalk and asked them, what's up with all those windows? Good eye. Truth is, we don't really know. Lots of structures here are like that. Clovey? Oh yeah. Some say it was buried by a mud flood. If you ask me, I don't know. History is a matter of faith. Unfortunately, it's illegal to question certain narratives and events here in Tilcop land. Really? Asked Thallib. Yep, answered Clovey. Makes you wonder, huh? Asked Thrill. Though, why do you think we can't deny the 12-tribe plot? Man, enough! Do you want me to get in trouble again? The old men packed a few belongings and said goodbye to their old wives. The four stepped on Kolb's modern boat. On its rear end, her written name was Wet Tent. Thallib, is that all your luggage? Asked Thrilk. Yes, sir, said Thallib as he walked inside. That owl better not do it in here, said Dolb as he moved some furniture around. Do what? Asked Cloby. You know, poop. Ah! Cloby, you know I hate that word, shouted Dolb. Me too, said Thallib. Good, said Dolb softly. Let's get going, crew. Get cozy, Thallib. Here, sit over there. Make sure Koo doesn't, you know. At last the boat was on its merry way, following a journey along the green-gray river. The hull settled upon the asphalt's cool waves. Though the wet tent was relatively fast, the journey to Wilseth Land was not an immediate one. Throughout that week, Thallib had had the opportunity of getting to know each member of the old trio better. For starters, Thrilk, with his golden mustache and charisma, confirmed himself as the elf of the group, as well as a formidable storyteller. Furthermore, Cloby proved to be an outstanding source of bookly wisdom and conspiratorial knowledge. Without fail, day by day, he'd stimulate critical thinking and metacognition, while quoting the book a moment later. Clever jokes and political debates weren't off the table either. Last but not least, of course, Captain Dolb, the quiet and scrawny engineer, although grumpy most of the time, turned out to be a real sweetheart and the true brains of the operation. The magnitude of his boat alone attested to his wealth in socks, wits, and love for the open sea. However, despite the good food, music, and company, Thallib's insomnia lingered. At night, he'd sit in bed with Koo and the book. He dared not go outside, where the lesser light could be seen. When he closed his eyes, the shoes and the pale faces kept on haunting him. After a few days, they docked in a Navisco port. That same evening, the trio ate supper with Thallib as usual. Cloby gave a short speech after eating. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. Amen! Cheers! They shouted gleefully. Water glasses with fresh juice clanged together. Cheers to the best captain of Tilcob, said Thrilk as he hugged his friend. Oh, come on, stop it, said Dole with a hidden smile. And the friendliest owl of them all, added Cloby. And our maker, said Thallib gently. And to Thallib, said the trio in perfect unison. Thank you, laughed Thallib. Truly, I owe so much to all of you. Ah, cheer up. You're the future, you know, said Thrilk. To celebrate the tent and thank our maker for the safety given usward, let us all play a tune, laddies, said Cloby. Thallib, will you play the organ for us tonight? Asked Dolb. Oh, I'm not that good. Not that good? Said Thrilk. Come on, Thal. We all heard you playing the other night. Pretty please? Asked Dolb. We'll join you, added Cloby. Well, okay then, said Thallib. He started playing a melody. The trio listened in awe and then stepped in. Thrilk had an accordion, Cloby had a drum, and Dolb had a bass guitar. They sang, By the candlelight, in the darkness of the night, by the candlelight, by the candlelight, by the candlelight, in the darkness of the night, by the candlelight, by the candlelight. Hooray! Amen! And claps were heard at the end of the song. Well, lads, it's been a long day, and we have an even longer one to look forward to tomorrow. Why don't we head off to bed? Cloby yawned. Sounds good to me. Yeah, sure, why not? Concluded Dolb. Thallib pretended to yawn. But somehow, that led him to yawn spontaneously, and remarkably and uncontrollably, another time and another, until, thus, Thallib finally fell asleep. The next day, he woke up quite late in the morning. The gold Navisco sun was shining bright outside, and flickering rays from the water reflected inside the cabin. He stretched his arms and legs. After yawning, he found a paper note placed in front of him. It read, Dear Thallib, we three have gone out to buy food and fuel. We didn't want to wake you up. We'll be back soon. Thrilk. But when Thallib looked out of the window, he saw the shore far off. He supposed the boat had drifted and immediately he was troubled. He stood up in a frenzy, only to see Coot flying playfully with a hairy orange creature. The fox ran between Thallib's legs, making him lose his balance. Then he got up again and stepped outside in the back where the steering wheel was, only to find a rather amazed young grass-eyed ginger man. He was missing part of his ring finger and part of his right ear. On his face, he had a long scar. Beneath his eye, he had 2 tattooed teardrops, plus more ink all over his body. On top of his head, he had a green bandana. His hair was mostly orange, with an isolated chunk of whites. "What the hell?" exclaimed the surprised Navisco. "Who are you?" asked Thallib. "Who the hell are you?" asked the stranger. As both of them stood there speechless, the owl landed on Thallib's shoulder, while the fox caressed the new pilot's leg. I asked you first," insisted Thallib. "I asked you too. What are you doing?" "What does it look like, Blondie? I'm boating." "This isn't your boat, though. Why'd you steal it?" "I thought it was empty, okay? I was getting chased. Could you keep an eye on the back for me?" "No! Now my friends are stranded in a foreign country," despaired Thallib as he hugged his knees. "I'm sorry, homie, but I'm sure they'll be fine. You guys are from Tilcop, right?" "On the other hand, they were gonna kill me back there." "Who?" "Pomps." "The who?" "The Pomps. It's a rival gang. Actually, my own crew was hunting me down too. Not to mention Navisco authorities." "Really? I meant no harm borrowing this vessel." "You mean stealing?" "I had no choice, okay? Come on, homie. I'm on the run." "Why?" "For many reasons. Please, don't disturb me anymore. I'm already on edge. I don't have the heart to throw you overboard, but don't push me. I've seen my fair share of violence lately, and I want to avoid seeing any more. You got it?" he concluded earnestly. "So what, I'm just supposed to sit here like some hostage?" asked Thallib. "Yes." The fox left his owner to snuggle and curl up next to the frustrated Tilcob, while Ku flew and perched on the redhead's shoulder. "If you feel kidnapped, you can jump overboard if you want." "I'm never gonna fall asleep again," complained Thallib. "Why the hell would you say that for?" "Well, because after ages I finally had a good night of sleep, and the next morning I wake up to you and your cran theft. I just don't get it." "Hey, you got a nice animal over here. What's its name?" "Ku." "What's your name, G?" "Thallib." A very Tilcobian name. "I'm Zlago, son of Zlago. That's Flixie the fox. Met him as a youngling on the streets, in my hood. We've been together for a while." After a minute of silence and unresponsiveness from a passive-aggressive Thallib, Zlago said, "Look, I know what I did today was wrong. Hell, I've been messing up my whole life. I got mixed up with some real bad folk. I can't go home, but I can drop you off anywhere else. Just give me the word." Thallib tried stonewalling, but deep down, against his wishes, he felt for Zlago more than for the old trio. "Well, Sith." "Well, Sith it is, then. That also happens to be my destination. Legally, I'm an adult now, so I gotta find me a lawyer, you know?" "What for?" "I don't know, but I hear I should never speak to authorities without one." "Have you done any crimes?" "Hey, man, I've already spilled so many beans with you today. You feel me? Speaking of which, you got any food for lunch? I'm starving." "Yeah," he answered slowly. "Would you mind fetching something while I drive this thing? I don't feel safe stopping yet. I haven't eaten in days." "Okay." With Flixie dancing between his legs, Thallib walked inside and down the stairs into the kitchen. He prepared 2 sandwiches and retrieved 2 glass jars of pumpkin soup. Then he brought the food up to Zlago on a tray. "Oh, thanks. Pumpkin? No way, it's my favorite. Signature dish where I'm from, and our national symbol." Zlago went straight for the soup and slurped it up in a matter of seconds, shaking from the pleasure. "Hell yeah! Mind if I eat yours too?" "Sure, but what about the sand?" Zlago drank a second time and burped shamelessly. "Oh, what's that?" he asked Thallib. "Sandwich?" No thanks. I'm good for now. Hell, I'd kill for some potions or strong drinks. You got any?" Nope. Hey, about the boat and the food. I'll pay you back with interest. What's interest? You lend, I borrow. And the more time passes, the more I owe you. Oh, that's usury. The book says, he that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. Hell, I didn't know. So, we're cool, right? By the way, I love your owl, homie. I like your fox too. Zlago, I noticed you mentioned hell a lot. How come? Because I'll probably end up there, that's why. Why? Asked Thallib with genuine concern. Because I've done some really nefarious things, dog. How's what I deserve? Thallib felt even more sorry for him. But haven't you heard about the good news of our Savior? Sure, I guess. Readers say he died for us. But they also be telling me I need to stop doing evil things and start doing good things, or else I'll go to hell. It feels too late, man. Like death's around the corner. Not so. What? What do you mean? And you, being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh, hath he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses. What? All? Where does it say that, cuh? Hold on a sec, it's written right here. Thallib went inside and came back out with the book in his hand. He opened it up to the 43rd verse in the 51st book of the book. You see? Past, present, future sins, all forgiven. All thanks to him. What? Whoa. For the first time in a long time, Zlago felt hope. No way! He chuckled. A yoke had been lifted from his heart. Well, then those feeders back home must have been wrong. Otherwise, why in the hell do I have to do so much for my salvation if it's done already? Feeders? Asked Thallib. Yeah, it's a group in my area. Their motto is, mercy is expensive. I don't know who feeders are, but the book says this. Therefore, as by the offense of one, judgment came upon all men to condemnation, even so by the righteousness of one, the free gift came upon all men unto justification of life. Free gift? Exactly. How could something be free but costly? And over here it says, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us. Holy moly. You're right! That's a total scam if I've ever heard one. And I should know, I've run tons of scams. Damn feeders. Thanks to those verses, you helped me see they're scammers. Whereas I was blind, now I see, said Thallib gently. Sheesh, that's powerful. Mind if you take the wheel, Thee? I need a moment to process this. But I don't know how to boat. Just keep your hand steady and follow the cloud over there. Holler at me if you see anything strange ahead or behind. Thank you. So Thallib ended up with the reins of the wet tent, while the friendly and forgiving criminal slept like a baby. Thallib held the rudder for what seemed like ages to him. His arms started feeling heavy, but he just didn't have the guts to wake his new travel companion up. Ku landed on his shoulder, and they both stared at the horizon, trying to keep up with that distant cloud Zlago had pointed out. Eventually, the young Navigo woke up. See, man, you did great, says Zlago. I think we've traveled far enough. What do you say we lower the anchor? Oh, sure, thanks, said a relieved Thallib, looking up. After lowering the wet tent's anchor, Zlago, Thallib, Flixie, and Ku hung out on deck, soaking in the last hours of daylight. Zlago relaxed under the orange sky, plucking the strings of the bass he had found inside. Yo, Blondie, check this out. Next to the boat, a happy aquatic creature stuck its soft head out. It's a seal. Sometimes they come close to shore. I've never seen such a friendly one. Zlago stopped playing his instrument to pet the animal, who in turn gently pushed its head toward the Navigo's hand. He reacted by saying, Boop. Thallib admired the moment quietly, finding it hard to believe such a cold-hearted thief, and probably worse, could interact with such tenderness. Oh man, if my homies back home saw me doing this, they'd never stop clowning me, smiled Zlago while stringing away. You're a man of few words, huh, Thee? Yeah, don't worry, that's cool, it's gangster. I could learn, never mind, no, I'm not gonna say I could learn something from you. I mean, what the hell kind of cliche is that? Hey, what do you say we feed Boop? Got any canned tuna fish? Sure, I'll go get some. Thallib came back outside with a variety of canned goods. Dolb had fully stacked his boat. Zlago fed the seal and himself, eating anything that crossed his eyes, chatting and moving uncontrollably, revealing his low impulse control. Hell! Oh, my bad. This stuff's delicious. You gonna have any? No thanks, I'm good. How'd you two meet? He asked with a full mouth. Who, me and Coop? Yeah, he answered with a full mouth. Oh, I don't know. We've always been together for as long as I can remember. He knows me better than anyone else. Yeah, same with Flixie. He's my ride or die. Man, I can't even count how many times he's helped me out of a tight spot. One time I was planning on robbing a rival dealer. Thought it'd be an easy steal, but sheesh. That guy had some tingling sensation. Something was off, you know? So he pulled his piece out, like the savage pump he is, and was pointing it straight at me. But from the shadows, Flixie jumped against his arm, and the bullet grazed me. Then I ran. I wouldn't be here without my partner. Yeah, you got any similar stories? Well, kind of. Oh yeah? What happened? Asked Zlago. I don't know if I should say. You don't want to snitch? No, that's fine. Zlago said quietly, humming and petting Flixie and Boop without looking at Thallib. No, it's not that. Basically, after I left home, I found myself wandering through the woods at night. There were these men. They were all dressed up in black robes. They had red and white makeup on, and they were eating blood. I think it was human blood. Thalib's gag reflex kicked in, and he ran to hurl in the water. Boop vanished underwater. You grossed her out. After a few seconds, the seal resurfaced on the other side of the vessel. Never mind, there she is. Boop had gone on the other side of the boat, away from Thalib's vomit. So what happened next? He asked Thallib. Ku flew away from me towards the giant owl statue. It was like a huge furnace where they threw some of the blood. Sorry. Then they started freaking out, talking about the moon god or something. The creepiest part is they kept shushing. After several minutes, a couple of them snuck up on me. I barely escaped. I ran away as fast as I could in the dark. Coop was flying in front of me, guiding me. Thankfully the sun rose and I could see enough to ski safely. I finally lost them. Then I met the owner of the boat and his friends. We reached Navisco land and then you came into the picture. Wow. Well, that's pretty gruesome, man. So, yeah, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, sure, they got a lot of power. But I'll tell you, man, my gang's in every corner of Verithia. The shits are just fancy, schmancy intellectualoids and politicians. I mean, yeah, sure. I guess they got their own cult going on. But we're the ones with the big guns at the end of the day. We're the ones peddling dummers and drinks to Varys. It's not a clean business. Very dirty. Don't ever underestimate my gang, man. Shuz. What's your gang called? Rule number 1 of my gang. I cannot disclose any information on the name. So, yeah. He chuckled. Sorry, Thal. Maybe one day. If you want to join us. He winked. I'm good. Yeah, I figured. Honestly, I think I may be out of the gang life for good. I mean, I was running through the city before I jumped on this boat. Pretty much the entire city was after me, including my own. See, we're not too different after all. Anyway, I don't think I'll be doing any gang banging anytime soon, so yeah. But it's good to stick with you and your owl, at least until we reach Verithia. Oh, by the way, Z, do you know how to get there? Yeah, sure. I'm a Navisco, baby. Sailing's in my blood, so I guess there's a motorboat, so now I'm not really sure. But yeah, for sure, I know how to get to Verithia, of course. Who doesn't? It's like the capital of the entire realm we live in, so why the hell would I not know? Oh, sorry, I keep saying hell, but why the heck would I not know how to get to Verithia? Obviously, I'm a criminal mastermind. On top of that, I've recently been forgiven, based on what you told me, and I escaped trouble. So it sure seems like the Almighty's got my back, after all. Alright. Because I'm just used to mountains, pine trees. I don't even really know how to swim, man. I mean, I've swum in lakes, but never the ocean. Eventually, after that exciting day, the sun commenced its slow descent and the crew headed off to bed. Flixie lay down next to Zlago, and Ku rested above Thallib. The waves were calm and the anchor sturdy. The next day, they got up. Zlago was already up navigating with a map in his hand. However, he was holding it upside down. "Z, I think that's upside down," said Thallib. "What? You sure it's upside down?" "Yeah. I can't even read this." He scratched his head. "Could you read it for me, man?" "It's still not upright." "Oh, really? Shoot. Hell, man, I'm just hella dyslexic." "Oh." Zlago handed him the map. In his head, Zlago said, "Man, I think we're lost out here." He thought, "I can't tell where we are." "Do you know where we are, Z?" asked Thallib as he looked at the map. "Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's all under control, man. All under control. You can trust me." Thallib didn't say much else. Thus, they kept moving forward. Zlago's way of navigating was mainly looking at distant landmarks, such as clouds, the sun, the moon, or distinctive waves and stars. I think I'll follow that," he decided impulsively. After a while, he decided to take a short break. "Hey, Thallib, sorry to interrupt your book reading, but do you mind grabbing the wheel for a bit? I need a snack." "Alright, where should I aim?" "Just follow that cool-looking wave over there. You see it?" He walked inside and noticed Thallib's skis against the wall. An idea struck him. Having grabbed a bite of various fruits, he let Thallib know what he was thinking. "Hey, you know what I'm thinking, homie?" "What?" "You know those two long wooden planks inside?" "Yes." "I was thinking we could use them in the water. It'll be awesome." "Huh?" "But I only use those on snow." "I only use them on water. Come on, I'll show you. Then I want you to try." Zlago grabbed the skis and tied a sturdy rope. He got in the water and instructed Thallib. "Make sure to go as fast as you can. A minute or two should do. Oh, and when you stop, please pull me back in as quickly as possible." "Got it." "Okay, let's do this. Go!" Thallib accelerated to full speed, and Zlago was soaring on the boat's wake, standing effortlessly. Then out of nowhere, Boop happily popped above the surface, jumping and swimming by Zlago's side. "Woohoo! You see that thing? What's up, Boop? I love you, girl." About a couple of minutes later, Thallib decelerated abruptly. "Pull me in! Pull me in!" screamed Zlago. "I thought you could swim. I can! Just do it!" So Thallib quickly pulled the rope. "Are you alright, Z?" "Dude, that was freaking amazing! I told you! Come on, it's your turn." Thallib got in position with Coop on his shoulder, and before he knew it, he was skiing horizontally, on the water, with his pet flying beside him. "Ha! You're a natural, man!" "Whee!" said Thallib with a huge smile. "What kind of zesty reaction's that?" whispered Zlago with a raised eyebrow. Whatever. After a minute or so, Zlago slowed down. Boop surfaced next to Thallib, who petted her. "Hey, I can swim! I guess the salt makes it easier to float." Thallib pulled himself back on board. "How was it, Thee? Was it insane or what?" "It was nice." "So, what do you prefer, water or snow?" Definitely snow. Though it is still water technically. Speaking of which, we should stop for lunchtime. You know, to rest, hydrate ourselves, our pets, and feast. Don't know about you, but for me, even just a few seconds of water gliding always leaves me starving. Shall we lower the anchor? Nah, water's so deep here, I doubt I'll even reach the bottom. We'll keep the engine on. Zlago prepared a small table outside in the shade and started eating. "You going to eat, Thee?" "Oh, you know what? I think I'll pass for now." "Thee, do you have any family?" "Yeah, my mom and dad." "That's awesome. I lost my mom when I was young, but my dad, boy oh boy, he's the coolest man I know. Also in the life, you know? A top player, an OG, one of the leaders of my gang. He's always busy though, so I haven't seen him much lately. Do you have any brothers?" "No, it's just us three." "Why did you leave them?" "How'd you know I left?" I mean, what else would you be doing here?" My dad became a drinkist. My dad's one too, but I love him anyway. He's tough, and he's taught me and my brothers how to survive in the streets. Slowly but surely, the further they traveled out in the open sea, the higher the waves became. In fact, only a few hours later, the whole boat was rocking more than it ever had. Thallib and Zlago felt a little seasick, yet they still managed to play music and get to know each other better. Then, after much chatting, the conversation took a curious turn. "Thee, you're Tilcob. What do you know about the 12 TP? Asked Zlago. "The 12 tribe plan? I heard it mentioned recently," said Thallib. "My Tilcob friends were talking about it, but I don't know many details. You believe in it?" I don't know. You?" "I personally don't. 12 tribe plot? More like 12 tribe hoax. I mean, come on. Every tribe of Verithia conspiring to separate Tilcob land from the continent? That's what they want us to believe. But it just doesn't make any stinking sense." "Oh, how come?" "'Cause, well, first of all, how in the world could you build 1 billion explosives in only 12 months or something? I mean, that's logistically impossible. And I'm saying this as someone who's done this junk for my gang. So, I don't think it's feasible. Never heard of anything like it. So, yeah, man. No, I think they're full of bull. No offense, man. You believe in any of this? You're from Tilcob." "Well, I was homeschooled. My parents never told me about this stuff." The crew proceeded forward at a steady pace until Zlago realized something. "Yo, Booba's been following us for a while. I forgot to feed her before. Let's stop, okay? You see? She's right over there," he pointed. I don't think she's the only one who's been following us," said Thallib. Zlago got a closer look towards the horizon. "What? No! They found me!" Zlago started panicking. "They're gonna skin me alive! They're gonna pluck my fingernails off! Oh my goodness! What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" We could try praying. "For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved." After a short prayer, both of them got up from their knees. The distant shape was nearing them pretty fast. "Oh man!" Zlago looked up. "We're cooked! How many boats are there?" "There's one." "Oh no, wait! There's two." From behind the orange boat, another slightly smaller green one appeared. Zlago and his fox started spiraling. Flixie ran frantically and incessantly around the boat in circles. "What did you do?" asked Thallib. "Oh man, let's just say I did some things I shouldn't have done," he answered with voice cracks, "and now they're all pissed at me." Zlago went back inside quickly. Thallib saw him handling a hidden sack of jewelry and gold. "Z, is that yours?" About that. We're rich. We're filthy rich. Did you steal that? I'll give you some for your hospitality, if we survive." They went back out, and the two boats were quickly gaining on them. "Ah!" yelled Zlago. "Kill me now! Strike me down! Oh, hell no! Hell to the nay-nay! We got a lifeboat on here? You got any weapons on this? Oh, my soul! I'm about to faint. I only got these brass knuckles, bruh. Got a butterfly knife too, but this is useless. These guys have cannons!" "Chill, Z. You're a son of the Creator. Come on. Why are you so fearful? Be strong and of good courage, and be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed." "Thee, don't you understand what's happening?" "Yeah, but we already prayed. I thought you were a gang member. Yeah, you're having a meltdown like a little wussy. You're part of the Makers people now. That's a way better gang." Thalib's words were able to soothe Zlago's nerves. Coop flew out to scout the enemy. The two boats sandwiched the wet tent. "Hi guys," said Zlago as he waved his ringless hand with a nervous smile and a shaky voice. "Now, whose good side am I on?" As he finished the question, cannonballs hit the boat on each side. "What the hell?" shouted Zlago in disbelief. "The wet tent's hit," lamented Thallib. "Okay, I surrender," begged Zlago with his arms up and face on the floor. "Fire!" yelled an enemy. 2 shots were heard, but this time, one of the gang's cannons misfired and missed the wet tent, hitting the orange vessel. That accident caused a fight to erupt between the two gangs. "Hey, what the hell?" yelled the gang members in orange apparel. "For once we formed a league, and look how quickly you broke it. I thought the enemy of my enemy was supposed to be my friend." Things escalated so much that eventually all of them started fighting each other. "Go get him, boys!" screamed one of the Pomps. Chaos ensued. Coot flew bravely while Flixie distracted the captors. The whole situation was a complete mess, especially on the blue boat where the violence and action were concentrated. Thallib ran inside to retrieve his bow and arrows, while Zlago ended up on the rival gang's boat. Amidst brawls and deaths, a fat and scary older man tried to sneak up on Zlago. "Z, watch out!" yelled Thallib. Coot and Flixie came to the rescue, and together they managed to knock the obese man in orange attire overboard, causing a huge splash. At that point, the two gangs had almost wiped each other out. While the fighting continued and the two boats slowly sank, Thallib reached his pal on the orange boat. But in a sudden turn of events, Zlago hopped off onto the sinking wet tent. "I'll be right back. Turn the engine on," he instructed as Flixie followed him. Not long after, he came out with a heavy sack. It was there, however, that he found himself face to face with a fellow gang member who cornered him menacingly. "Joe, what are you doing here? Why the hell did you guys team up with the Pomps?" asked Zlago furiously. "Father's orders, cuz." "Huh, my dad? Or your dad? What orders?" he asked with indignation written all over his Navisco face. "To kill you." Joe shot a dumbfounded Zlago and threw him over the side. Thallib gasped in shock. Flixie bit him, and Thallib didn't hesitate to shoot an arrow straight into his chest, making him fall into the water. Flixie hopped in the sea. From the water, Thallib heard, "Help me! Help me! I can't swim! I'm coming!" Thallib jumped in the water from the boat to rescue Zlago. Flixie frantically doggy paddled near him, holding onto his shirt with his teeth. Boop also stepped in to help keep him afloat. Coot followed and grabbed onto Thallib's clothes, trying to lift him up by flapping its wings upward. The team dragged Zlago aboard the enemy boat. Flixie was circling around an unconscious Zlago, sniffing him violently and affectionately to see if he was still alive. Thallib ran to the command cabin and sped the boat up. The enemies on the blue boat interrupted their fighting to pursue Zlago and Thallib, but they could keep up only for so long before sinking completely. After a couple of minutes, Thallib stopped the boat and went back out. They sat next to Zlago, hoping he'd wake up. Then, when hope was dimming, he coughed and gently opened his eyes. Zlago could only see pink clouds above, the warm orange sunlight, his friends, and their love. "Am I in heaven?" he asked. "Thank the Maker!" "No, you're not in the sky, man. You're still at sea, but we're safe now. Here, grab this. How's your wound?" "Oh, this? Man, I'm fine. Bullet went straight through. You know how many times I've been shot? This is nothing." Zlago grunted and sat back up with a blanket. His relief and cheerful demeanor quickly turned into sorrow. He remembered Joe's betrayal. What he said about his dad or uncle, he didn't know. And to make things worse, he saw the wet tent submerged by the asphalt. "Oh no, I lost it all. Thallib is going to be so disappointed," sighed Thallib with sadness. "Thal, thank you so much. I should be dead. I hate guns, but I love you guys." He cried with tears gushing out while holding Flixie and Thallib tightly. "I'm glad you're alive, man. Come on, Z. Let's get back inside before the sun sets." After a sleepless night's rest, having nearly tasted death the previous day, our beloved team of Veriths and animal friends proceeded onward. The orange-colored boat they were on belonged to the so-called Pomps, a vicious and infamous mafioso network of organized criminality operating throughout Verithia, with headquarters in Navisco land. Despite surviving, Zlago wasn't exactly the most cheerful folk after all the happenings of the day before, but he was still more than willing to reach the land of Wilsets as quickly as possible. This meant that, despite his emotional and medical injury, he himself steered the boat non-stop, though it was tainted with enemy colors, flags, and symbols. While navigating, with a pocket knife, he defaced the main symbol of a flaming and smiling pumpkin, scratching it into oblivion, while his other hand held the steering wheel. "Thallib, you see that's where the sun peaked, and that's how we know we'll reach Wilset." On the other hand, Thallib spent his time reading the book, trying to relax while worrying about the old trio, dreading the looks of disappointment he expected on their wrinkly faces once they heard news of the sinking of the wet tent. And so, like two tired veterans, our heroes journeyed out in the open sea, along with their two pets and Boop, who occasionally resurfaced for some affection. Nearly 2 days later, Zlago finally saw green land in the horizon. The land! Oh man! Look! Look, man! I see shore! At the sound of that, Thallib lifted his eyes from off the page and saw the splendor of the far-off coast underneath the low morning sun. Whoa! Up to that point, all he'd ever seen were Tilcob and Navisco shores. I told you, man. My Navisco blood in me. I can't believe it. Verithia, baby, here we come! Shouted Zlago. As the two young men hugged in celebration, the motor emitted a burp. However, excited as they were, they sped up to get off that dreaded floating pumpkin. Zlago could even see little white sheep gazing in the distance. Look at all those sheep, he said. Looks yummy. I want to taste the raw milk. Eventually, our skillful ginger captain spotted a nice little inlet to dock, where there was a beach with a small crowd of dark-haired Altaldinians, or Middle Seers in the common tongue. At last, the engine started crackling and splurting out small clouds of thick black smoke. Zlago went over there with a towel, trying to cool it down, while Thallib kept the boat steady towards a wooden platform off the beach. To no avail, the motor seemed irreparably damaged, yet the team was so happy to have finally docked that they all hopped off the boat without any hesitation, and with the few personal belongings they had managed to salvage. What about the engine, Z? Oh, we'll worry about that later, man. I'm starving. After those famous words, there was a small explosion on the back of the boat. It gradually sunk below the water. Ouch! Well, glad we got off in time. Smiled Zlago. Where we hit? I have no idea. Not too far from them, none of the locals seemed fazed by the sinking vessel or the strangers. In fact, all of them were too focused on some type of conference. Zlago looked around and saw an assembly of black-haired people. I thought Wilsons had brown hair, he commented. Man, these are Althogs. Then a loud voice announced, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 250th edition of the Southern Althokian Scientific and Innovative Festival. What the hell? Said Zlago in dismay. No way! There's gotta be some type of mistake. After all that, I'm a Navisco, damn it! Zlago kept murmuring. What the hell, man? All that for nothing. I got shot by my own, and now we're in this wrong stinking country. What is this place? What is this country? What is this country? I guess Althog. Althogs? What are these fools gonna do for us? Technological. No street smarts. Man, can't help me. Z, what if we ask that guy over there for help? He's our age. Zlago, Coop, Flixie, and Thallib walked towards an Althog with black hair, green skin, brown eyes, glasses, and a green frog sitting on his left shoulder. Hey there, said Thallib. My name's Thallib. My friend Zlago and I are kinda lost. Could you tell us where we are precisely? Oh, hi. You're in the province of Triv, in the land of Althog. My name is Lith, by the way. Nice to meet you, Lith. Thallib shook his hand, though the Althog kept sitting. Yeah, what happened to you guys? Are you also here for the Sassif? We're actually trying to reach Wilsith land. Oh, I see. I could help you with that. Let's meet here after the event. Sure. Right as the show commenced, and the speaker started announcing again, from a short distance, Zlago went, Psst. Once Thallib got close enough, he whispered, Hey, are you sure we can trust him? He didn't even stand up to shake your hand. That's straight up disrespectful, man. I ought to beat his face in for dissing you like that, dog. No, don't worry, man. We don't need him. All we need is a new boat. I saw some floating beauties sitting out there in the waters. So while these geeks are distracted, we can... No, Z, we shouldn't steal. He said he can help us out. Let's just... Ladies and gentlemen of Althog stock, a round of applause for our first contestant of the day. A young and promising talent, who many of you have already seen, whose research the very king himself has financed for the benefit of Verithia. Give it up for Lythikal IV, son of Lythikal III, and his newest, most brilliant invention yet. Lythikal pulled up on stage on a two-wheeler and what seemed to be a frog on his shoulder. H2Os! Blasted the main speaker. And there she is! Evie the Frog! Our favorite mascot! The crowd cheered. What the? Said Thallib. I was literally just talking to him. This young man here, in spite of his physical limitations, has never allowed his misfortune to tamper with his creative genius. Here he is, displaying the first of its kind, the prototype of a water-powered means of transportation. 2 wheels, speed, elegance, and agility that will soon revolutionize how we all conceive traveling. Once again, folks, I ask you, ladies and gents, to applaud one of the most astounding products and minds that our wonderful country has to offer. The audience erupted. After his lively performance, Lythikal the Althog came back to his seat in the far-end corner, as he said he would. The young man was assisted by an older Althog man, while he held a pair of crutches. All the while, his loyal pet frog stood happily upon his shoulders, flopping back and forth between his left and right one. What the? I didn't know he was a cripple, said Zlago. Me neither, said Thallib. Lythikal sat back down, so Thallib and company approached him again. Hey, said Lythikal as he fixed his glasses. Did you see me out there? Yep, it was awesome. So, Lith, about our cry for help from before, you said you would be able to help us look for a way to the land of Wilseth? Yes. You saw the machine I was driving, right? Yes. Well, there's your means of transportation. But I have to be leaving soon, so we better get moving pronto. How does that sound, gentlemen? Sounds great, right, Z? Sure. How come you're going to Wilseth? To meet the king, obviously, he said proudly. What? Asked Thallib. Meet the who? Asked Zlago. King Wilt VI of Wilsithia and Verithia. He can't wait to see my newest invention. You know the king? Asked both. Naturally. Actually, I also know his son quite well, Prince Atho. After a silence in awe, Lythikal spoke again. Well, come on. There's no time to waste. Help me get to my vehicle. The sooner, the better. Time is science, you know. Sure thing, said Thallib. Hell yeah, said Zlago. Coot and Flixie also helped Lythikal move towards his two-wheeler. The owl lifted the hem of his expensive purple garment, while Flixie made sure he wouldn't step on any stones along the path. Eventually, they all sat in their respective spots. Zlago and Flixie in the back, Thallib and Coot in the middle, and Lythikal and Evie in the front, ready to steer. The Althog strapped goggles to his eyes and turned the engine on. Grab a pair, everybody! So, what road exactly will we be going to take? Road? I never said anything about roads. This guy's nuts! Zlago started freaking out. Oh, don't worry, you two. H2O's perfectly safe. Though I haven't tested her out on water yet. Not directly, at least. I have reason to deduce that physically it will be able to withstand the asphalt waves more than comfortably. Hold on tight. Lythikal activated a button and his engineering marvel accelerated towards a cliff. Ah! Yelled Thallib and Zlago at the top of their lungs. And so the crew landed safely on the waters, as Lythikal had predicted, and hovered its way all over to Wilseth land.